Hi everyone, it's Anna here from Movefit Pilates and welcome to the second week of the Pillars of Pilates course. This week we're looking at key terminology and we're going to use some exercises to help you understand what those terms mean. We use these exercises quite frequently in the Pilates class, so they'll show up in one way or another with some modifications week over week, and we use them frequently in our online classes and face-to-face classes when those take place as well. So I hope you enjoy and thank you from me. So let's begin with range of movement. So we're going to talk about range of movement in relation to an exercise called waist twist, which is really nice because we can also talk about rotation. So waist twist is all about rotating your spine, and range of movement talks about how much movement we have in a particular joints or set of joints. In this case, we're talking about the spinal column. So when we're talking about range of movements, all our joints have a certain range of movement and we're all different, all bodies are different, and we're all different on any given day as well. So range of movement is exactly that, how far you can go into that movement with your spine, with your shoulder, with your knee, whatever exercise it is, that is comfortable for you. If you were looking to increase flexibility, we would start working with you from a conservative range where you're comfortable, and over time we'll look at increasing that range unless you have any contraindications indicating that we should avoid doing that. So let's go into waist twists. So waist twist, we're going to take our arms across the shoulders and we're going to work on rotating our spine, in particular the thoracic spine, where the back of the ribs attach. So keep those shoulders relaxed, nice length in the body, and we're going to start that spinal rotation with the head moving to the right, rotating the spine out to the right, but keeping your hips forward facing and your pelvis stable. So I have this much rotation in my spine. I'll take my spine back to the center, rotate to the left this time. Now everybody is different, so in terms of range of movement, what we talked about earlier, this is my range of movement. Somebody else might have a smaller range, or a bigger range even. And this is what a waist twist would look like, and it is isolating the thoracic spine and getting it to rotate. So now I'm going to talk to you about flexing or flexion and extending or extension. The best way to show you what flexing is to show you actually what that looks like in your body. So I'm going to turn around and do a fully flexed body. So fully flexed body, I'm flexing my neck forward, flexing my spine forward, shoulders flexing forward, knees bending, ankles are bending. And I'm fully flexed here. I can flex more, but I'll stop here. And I'll lengthen back up. Extension is the opposite movement. So with a fully extended body, you're sending everything over the opposite direction. So that is the kind of difference from an anatomical perspective between flexion and extension. And that's what these exercises will show you, but through actual positions and exercise movements, not full body work. So now I'm going to demonstrate this with an exercise called the cat. And for the cat, we're going to come onto all fours. So onto hands and knees. Your knees are just under the hips and the hands are under the shoulders. Soften those elbows and relax those shoulders. And in a cat, I am going to demonstrate a flexed spine. So the flexed spine in a cat, you're going to take your pelvis or your tailbone and tuck it underneath. So you flex through that lumbar spine and flex through your thoracic spine and your neck. And you come into what we call a C shape or flexed spine. And then you release. So the movement initiates with that tailbone tucking under and flexing through the spine, bone by bone, till your head flexes, and then you release. And that's the cat, C shape and flexed spine. So now I'm going to talk through extension, and I'm going to do another spinal exercise for this one, and it is called diamond press. To do diamond press, we come down to the mat, tummy down, and my hands, I'll have my fingertips touching, and I will put my forehead down on my fingertips in a moment, Before I start, I'm just shuffling my ribcage and flattening it down against the mat. My shoulders are relaxed and my forehead is now going to come down onto my fingertips. The exercise starts with me nudging my nose forwards and then just keeping my head still and lifting my chest off the mat. And this is where the spinal extension is happening. It's happening in my thoracic spine, my lower ribs are still down on the mat, and then I'm coming back into a neutral spine. So the nose nudges forward, the neck is just gently coming to neutral, and the rest is focusing on extending that upper spine. And come back down. And that's your extension. So the last one to talk about is lateral flexion, or bending to the side. And I'm going to use the seated side bend to demonstrate that one for you. So I've come down to the mat to show you side bend, which is a great example of lateral flexion. So I'm taking my arms out to the side, my feet are touching, my knees are dropping out to the side. You'll notice my shoulders are relaxed and I've got a lengthened spine, so I'm not flexing forward. I'm going to take one arm and bring it up towards the ceiling, and then leading with my head bent to the side. I start to restart my spine and then lower my arm back down. Same thing on the opposite side, and it's also important to keep your sit bones down on the mat. So that's a side bend, and that accomplishes lateral flexion for your spine. Thank you everyone for joining Module 2 and the terminology this week. I hope you found it useful and you enjoyed it. Next time we'll be looking at the top 10 Pilates moves, so tune in then.